Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Entrepreneur Showcase Series brought to you by Patranya Media LLC and Parkway Media Partners. I'm your host, Patranya Poonswan. And on the show this morning, we have a very special lady. Her name is Cynthia Ganey. She is the owner and race director of Just Run, JUSRUN LLC, based right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And she's doing a great event that's coming up at the end of the month here in September. So, Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So great to have you. You look great. You look like you're ready to run. So I love this. So tell us about
I'm
this.
I'm always ready to run.
Yeah, always ready to run, right? We're going to hear about your backstory in just a bit. But this great event is coming up on September 29th. And this is the 2024 Vegas Strong 5K 1 mile walk, 5K run, 1 mile walk. And this is so tell us about this, Cynthia. This has been going on for quite a few years because it started with something quite tragic, but you've turned it to do something positive for the community, right?
Yes. I grew up in Las Vegas, so this tragedy basically happened in my backyard, and wanted to do something for the community to give back. And since we had this vehicle of a race management company, we decided to put on a race to raise money for the Victims Fund at that time. And so initially it was supposed to just be a one-time event. And, within 6 to 7 weeks after the tragedy, we were able to hold the event with the support of the entire community. Everybody stepped in to help, and it was just amazing that we could put on an event. We had 3,000 people, and we were able to raise $69,000 for the Victims Fund for that first event. But then after the event, I heard from many first responders and survivors and community that they wanted us to continue this event so people could come together every year to remember. It was a healing process then, but over the years I found that it's more than just raising the money. It's an opportunity for people to come together for a couple hours just to show their support for one another, their love, to remember. And a lot of families of the victims have shown up as well, and they've gotten to know other families and survivors, getting to know other survivors, and they look forward to seeing each other every year. So we have vowed to continue to put on the event as long as we can.
And we're talking, of course, about the 1 October shooting that happened. I think it's 8 years ago this year, right, Cynthia?
7 years. It's
7 years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
So you started the first race for this Vegas Strong race. It was about 6 weeks right after the race. So did you already have a plan for a race, and then that happened, and then you decided you want to do something, or was it done because of what happened on that day?
It was done because of what happened. We had no plan to put on, and usually when we put on a race, it takes a good 6 months, 4 to 6 months to put on. But again, I wanted to put this race on so we could raise money, and we were able to do it within 7 weeks. So as I mentioned, the community stepped in. Craig Ranch National Park, they stepped in and said we could use their park at no charge. We just had all kinds of different vendors and sponsors that helped out, so we could put it on within the 7 weeks. And we had 3,000 participants that year.
Wow. Yeah. So, we got some pictures that we want to show, and you sent us some of participants who've taken part in this event over the years, and you were seeing this one picture here, and this is right in downtown Las Vegas, right? So your race has always been in downtown.
Well, the first year we had it at Craig Ranch National Park, or State Park, not national, I should say. And then after that, we had it at downtown, and then COVID hit, and so we were not able to have it that next year, but we had it virtually, so people were able to still register, and then we mailed their race packet and their shirt and their medal to them, and then they did their race wherever they lived, and went around their park or their neighborhood. And so we were still able to have about 1,000 participants that registered that year virtually. And then the next year, because it was still kind of going on, so we had it at another park. And then after that, we then had it downtown again. So the last few years has been downtown, yes.
And, just looking at the pictures and the people taking part, and I know, all sorts of people come out in the community, including, of course, you said first responders, firefighters, people like that. What has been the reaction from people? I mean, it's 7 years on now, but is that event still affecting and inspiring a lot of people to come out and take part in your race?
It is. And I was surprised it would go on this long, but again, it's just an opportunity for people to come together every year, remember, to show their support. And, we vow we will never forget. And we have, a banner that we put up that has all the 58 victims' names. We have speakers before the event and people to talk about the event, or some, every once in a while we'll have a person that was a victim, or not a victim, I'm sorry, for a first responder or a survivor that talks about their experience and where they've come to at this point. And so it's just an opportunity for everybody to come together once a year.
We see this Vegas Strong sign now really stands for, a lot of the things have been kind of inspirational for our city, and people have done a lot of events, but you see people running. Obviously, you're a runner, right? You've run many, many races. What is the fact of the act of running, or even walking, because not everybody runs, right? But people who come and just walk and take part in this, what do you think it does in terms of, in this healing process when you go through something like this, or of someone who've gone through something like this?
Well, I think it's a matter of they're starting something and completing something. So it's like when they get to the finish line, they cross the finish line. It's like crossing the finish line to that next step, or in their life, or the next journey, and moving forward to a more positive, direction and in their healing process. So it means a lot. It means differently to a lot of people, but it's just getting out there and starting and finishing.
Yeah, I love that. And you mentioned that this race, again, it's happening on September 29th. It starts at 8 in the morning. Is that right? Tell us about what's going to be happening that day so people know if they decide to register and join you on that day.
Yes. Well, again, Sunday, September 29th at 8 a.m. And the festivities, start and finish festivities, will be held in the Llama Lot, which is on 9th and Fremont Street, and the race itself starts on Fremont Street at 9th Street. So there's an actual parking lot right behind it where the start festivities will have a stage. Sherry Swentz with 8 News Now, she's our MC.
Yeah.
And we'll have some speakers. Our Secretary of State will be speaking. We have a person from the Vegas Strong Resiliency Center. She's going to speak about the Resiliency Center that they started back when the tragedy happened, and it's for people to go to for resources to help them with whatever needs that they have.
Right.
And then also there's a Forever One memorial that they're going to be building, and so she's going to speak about that. And then we have another person that will be speaking. She was a survivor of the Route 91 concert that night, and she's a doctor and she wrote a book, so she'll be speaking. Then we'll have a group from a studio that's going to do a warm-up and get everybody ready to go and do the national anthem, and we'll get going. And then after the race is over, then we'll have awards for the finishers. And then we also do team plaques for the 10 largest teams. The one thing is we have a lot of teams that register. We have over 100 teams. And so I encourage everybody to get a team together, whether it's your just friends and families or your company, and get out there and do it together. So it brings a lot of people together when you set up a team.
Yeah, I love that. I'm just looking at the registration site right now, and it's great that you offer a lot of options for people to do this. Like you said, you can sign up individually, or you can sign up as a team. You can also sign up as a volunteer. Are you looking for volunteers right now as well?
Yes, we always can use volunteers. That they are the ones that really help us make the event what it is. We have packet pickup, and packet pickup is where the participants will go to pick up their race packets, their T-shirts, and their bib, because everybody wears a bib on the front of their shirt.
Yeah.
And during the race, and so we look for volunteers to help us with that. Packet pickup is Friday at REI in Boga Park
Okay.
from 12 to 6 p.m. and then on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then also volunteers for the race itself to help with the water stations and to help with the finish line to pass out bottles of water and medals because everybody they receive a medal when they cross the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have food that's um, given to us by Rachel's Kitchen.
That's
They
awesome.
provide power bars and fruits and things like that. So we always can use volunteers to help out in all those locations.
Yeah, that's great. So again, this is Cynthia Ganey. She is with Just Run LLC. Is that where people can go on your website to find more information on the race as well?
Yes, to justrun.com. And they'll
Justrun.com.
see the
Awesome.
Vegas Run race, and then they'll see all the information.
How many people are you expecting this year? Are you hearing a lot of interest from people?
Yeah, we usually in the beginning we had around 2,500 people to 3,000.
Wow.
It's kind of backed off a little, so we're expecting about 15 to 1,700 people this year. We want to try to make it a staple race, in the community. There's other races, that people look forward to doing every year, and we just hope that this is one that will continue. We just want to point out that, we really, this is to remember, those that we lost, and the survivors and everything, but we just really want to shout out to the first responders. If it wasn't for the first responders, and not just, the firefighters and police and medical, but those people that were there that didn't just run, for their lives, that they came back and they helped other people survive. So it's just, the people just really stepped up, and to us, that those are all the first responders, and we just want a shout out to them, and just want to let them know that when we do this, we're thinking of them as well, and want to thank them, and just, really, that's again, the money goes to a couple of sponsorships. For example, one of the sponsorships is for seniors in high school, to those that want to pursue a career as a first responder. That's where some of the money goes to from these events. Another one is for any seniors that have any issues that were impacted by the event, that they can go to as well. And again, another part of the money goes to the Resiliency and Justice Center, and that's a support mechanism for people to go to, regardless if it was from that tragedy or other tragedies that have happened to them.
All right. So again, this is Cynthia Ganey. She is the race director and founder of Just Run LLC. They help organize the 2024 Vegas Strong 5K and 1-mile walk that's coming up on Sunday, September 29th, starting at 8 a.m. You can still register, so definitely find more information on that. So what a great event, and just to remember such great people and to continue to give back despite what had happened there on 1 October. So Cynthia, again, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and best of luck on your event.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And just if I could just say one more thing.
Sure,
Even though
go
we
ahead.
have the 5K.
Yeah.
It's the 5K is 3.1 miles.
Yeah.
And you can run or walk it. You don't have just to run. And then the 1 mile, you can run or walk it also. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit we're offering for everybody. So
Hey, I love
there's
that.
no reason why you can't get involved.
Yes, and it's going to be a
But
beautiful
thank you so
weekend.
very much for having me.
Yeah,
I
thank you so
sincerely
much.
appreciate it.
I'm so excited to get the word out about this, and I know it's going to be a great event. So thank you so much, Cynthia, and thank you everyone for watching and listening to this episode of Entrepreneur Showcase Series, and we'll see you again next time.